Welcome back, Flare community. I hope you're all well and having an incredible day as always. Yes, it is time for the weekly news roundup where we cover all of the significant updates that are happening on the Songbird and Flare network. So with that being said, we're going to jump straight in usual fashion. This is one take and uncut. And we're starting here from the Flare FTSO monitor. This is where you can get details about the best performing data providers in the ecosystem. So topping the chart this week, we have ACDT FTSO in second place, Price Kraken, third place, EDP FTSO, in fourth place we have Nordso, and in fifth place we have Lena Instruments. A lot of the usual suspects, and yeah, congratulations to making it into the top 5 this week. Over on to NFTs and the leaderboards here. For the week, we have change this here to 7 days. Gateway of Destiny topping the chart with some pretty ridiculous volume. I'll talk about that in just a second. In second place, we have the Blockbones project. Third place, we have Blockbones traits. In fourth place, we have Roxy Girl. And in fifth place, the xHaven membership. Moving on to this quickly, Gateway of Destiny. If you didn't know, this is a project that involves the Hermes protocol, where you can actually win physical prizes. A lot of these boxes have actually been revealed now. We look on the activity here, and I think this is one of the reasons why the sales were so high. So there's not been that many sales, but there was a big one very recently. We'll click on sale here, and that was this one here for 302,000 Songbird. So if you look at this, this is one of the prizes, and it is the FLR Finance, a bit of a legacy one here. And it was actually sold for, yeah, what did I say? 321,000, I believe. Yeah, that's going to be redeemed very soon via the Hermes protocol. So pretty interesting stuff. 312, sorry. Just double check that here. Yeah, 312,000 SGB, which is quite a significant amount. Moving on to True Gems here. Volume is still pretty low. If we go on to daily volume, we've got True Gems, which is the Genesis collection, which is topping the charts here. In second place, we have the Way to F assets, and the rest are still pretty low. We've got Dan Rocky with 5,000 FLR. We've got another Dan Rocky Clubhouse with less than 1,000. And then in fifth place, the chess pieces with just 58 FLR. Moving on here, if you didn't already know, each month you get monthly flare drops, which is quite a good rate, actually. This is actually the 21st, if I'm not mistaken, and yes, you can claim them now. So if you haven't already, please do claim them, otherwise they may get burnt. If you're wondering about what the return is, it's 2.68%, which is actually pretty healthy for a monthly airdrop. So happy days. So if you didn't know as well, there's been 3 governance proposals that have recently been approved. We've got STP09, which is a Songbird test proposal, which introduced the Flare Data Connector, the FDC, to the Songbird network. This really is a game changer. I think a lot of people, this flies under the radar. The Flare Data Connector is something really special, and it's going to allow the network, either Songbird or Flare, once it's deployed, to basically verify transactions that are happening on external chains. Not only that, but it's going to be able to verify data from off-chain data. So maybe that's an external service, maybe it's a betting application, maybe it's just something completely different that we haven't really thought about yet. So that's a very impressive upgrade, which has just passed. It's not yet been established or deployed onto the Songbird network, but I'm sure it will be coming very soon. We've also got FIP 10, so Flare Improvement Proposal and Songbird Improvement Proposal 04, and both are proposed to establish an incentive structure on Flare and Songbird respectively, where data providers can gain or lose passes based on their participation across the Flare and Songbird protocols. So it's sort of unifying the reward structure and making it mandatory for people that are providing data, these infrastructure providers, or data providers to support both Songbird and Flare. So it's rewarding those who are not necessarily skipping the Songbird network. So great stuff there. I'm looking forward to the updates on these proposals and hearing more about when they actually go live. Yes, each and every month in synchronicity with the Flare drops, we also get a huge burn. This is another 66 million FLR that has been incinerated each and every month. And this was to compensate for the initial investors because they was going to have an unbalanced amount of FLR rewards based on some previous proposal changes. So yes, another 66 million has been burnt. Happy days. Moving on here, we've got F assets. Yes, everyone wants to know about F assets, but F assets is simply a decentralized application that leverages the novel functionality that the Flare network offers. One of them things is high integrity data from the FTSO, the Flare Time Series Oracle, and also the Flare data connector, which we mentioned previously. So a lot of people always ask when F assets. Before we jump into when F assets, let me just go over this, which was some news that was garnered from the recent X space. This is about F assets now requiring an impressive overall over-collateralization ratio of 3.5x. So 1.5x is going to be required in stablecoins such as USDX. And this is the initial one. I'm pretty sure there will be more as time goes on. And also 2x in the native asset. So for Songbird, that will be SGB. And for the Flare network, that will be FLR. We also heard from Hugo that there's going to be a sequential deployment of the various F assets. It's first going to be FXRP, and then shortly after it's going to be FBTC, and finally FDoge. They're the holy trinity that are launching first, and obviously as the market develops and the protocol develops and matures, there's going to be more F assets introduced. But these three assets, XRP, Bitcoin, and Dogecoin, take up a considerable market share of the top cryptocurrency assets that lack smart contract functionality. That's why they've been targeted. So when F assets, we know that F assets is going to be deployed when USDX has sufficient liquidity, which it already does, and also once it's been listed on a centralized exchange. So I can't speak for the issuer of USDX, which I believe is Hex Trust, but Hugo knows that the listing is in process. So looks like it could be just around the corner. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see, but that is the last piece of the puzzle before F assets can go live on the Songbird network. Happy days. Moving along here, we've got this news from the Flare network, and it's talking about the migration from the first version of the FTSO to the second version. The depreciated version of the FTSO, known as V1, has just occurred on Songbird, meaning that data providers will no longer receive rewards for participating in V1. Rewards accumulated in V1 on Songbird can still be claimed until November the 22nd before they expire, and the depreciation of the first version of the Flare Time Series Oracle is scheduled for late November. Again, this is a necessary update or upgrade to the Flare network to enable F assets. We need this low latency data feeds, which occur once every block, so once every 1.8 seconds, and this is going to be crucial for managing the F assets decentralized application. Moving on here, we've got some news here, or I guess a little thread here from RootScan, and they're part of FlareScan, or they host FlareScan, which is a spin-off of their infrastructure. They not only provide an explorer, but also a lot of on-chain metrics and nice charts that you may find interesting. So I had a quick peek at this thread, and here are the main things that I had extracted from it based on what they shared. So For the Flare network, we're getting increasing transactions, we're getting an increasing amount of unique wallets, and the fees for the Flare network are generally trending downwards. So the future is bright. I think we're in for a wild ride. Moving on here, RFLR rewards for Blaze Swap, and I believe many of the other protocols. I know Enosis have their rewards claimable, as do Kinetic, and I think SparkDex do too. So if you didn't already know, RFLR stands for Reward Flare, and you get monthly emissions for providing liquidity for various pools. And yeah, be sure to check it out because the reward rates are actually very good because they're trying to incentivize a build-up of liquidity on the Flare network. If you participate and provide liquidity, you can get some of these juicy emissions. I did talk about this in the Patreon group and reveal my strategy. And if you want to get an insight into that, please be sure to check the link in the description. We've got some news here, We got some news here from Kinetic Market, and this is an important update regarding their application. Of course, last week we had the exploit, which fortunately has been made whole, so no one loses out, and it was an economic attack, let's say. But it looks like they're making some important updates to their functionality to sort of hope, or I guess, well, I certainly hope so, that it doesn't happen again. They said to increase security of the Kinetic protocol on the 2nd of December, we will be reducing the USDT and USDC collateral factors from 90% to 80%. So if you are currently borrowing against over 90% of your supplied assets, you must reduce this to 80% or lower by that time frame, which is Monday, December the 2nd. So do take note of that. And yeah, there was an interesting space actually on X talking about this just a couple of days ago. I think I uploaded it on YouTube. In fact, I'm pretty sure I did. Be sure to check that out. It's one of the most recent ones. And this is where Hugo talks as well about the F asset system as well. So pretty interesting stuff. If you want to know what I've been building alongside Blockbones, it is Digital Dynamics. I'm super excited about this. It's going to be a tool that unlocks instant utility for artists. So I know there are many artists in the space that don't necessarily have the technical abilities to deploy an NFT contract, right? That's only one small part of what Digital Dynamics is going to offer. It's going to give utility straight out of the gate for any project that is integrated or powered by Digital Dynamics. And you can expect to hear a lot more information about Digital Dynamics in the next month or so. Like I said, I'm calling all talented artists or illustrators. So if that is you, please do get in touch with me. You can find me on X at CommunityFlare. Just tag me in a post, or of course, comment down below on the YouTube channel, or even come to the Flare community Discord, and I'll be happy to see what we can do. Blockbones, there is an important update with the Earn Boost protocol. Basically, the Earn Boost is used to, I guess, allow people to buy the BNZ token at 0% slippage. This is the native asset of the Blockbones project, the best-selling collection on the Flare network of all time. And all of the FLR that is sold actually backs the Bones asset. In 2026, you're going to be able to redeem the Bones for the asset, for all of the FLR that's in that wallet. And it's being compounded at an incredible rate. So obviously, if you are doing this yourself, you can get delegation rewards, you can get staking rewards, DeFi emissions, and flare drops. But this wallet also receives a share of the royalties from the Blockbones project, which has the highest volume, as I said before, on the Flare network, from the trade crate sales, also the unrevealed Blockbones sales, and of course, the special trait auction proceeds. This is going to be accelerated very soon by something that I'm excited to share, but I'm keeping that under wraps until rarity-based rewards go live for the Blockbones project later next month. So what's changing with the Earn Booster? Well, the ratio is currently set at, now it's changed to 22 BNZ for every 10 FLR, but it's going to increment every couple of days. So basically, the ratio is going to increase where you can get more and more bones for your 10 FLR or however much FLR you want to spend until the wallet is drained, and then we go again. We reset it with some more BNZ at a later date and start again, and all of that FLR is going into the Earn wallet. There was a record sale, if I'm not mistaken, for the 6th special trait auction. That's this one here. Yeah, it actually ended at a price of $750,000 BNZ, so 750,000. If you are a special trait holder, congratulations, because you got a quarter of them proceeds, which is a nice little booster as well. And that's in addition to having the maximum reward rate possible for any Blockbones NFT. Moving on here from art department, yes, if you are staking your FLR, you can actually get a lot of additional incentives by staking to any SToads validator. You get RT airdrops. You of course get the FLR, which is mandatory across any infrastructure provider, but you also get chances and raffles to win an xToad XXL, a black box xToads, and of course the Blockbones NFTs, and we've been increasing the rarity over time, and the current iteration, and the next one being Sunday, is a raffle for the Cybers, and there's 4 of these to go before we finally upgrade until the last set of NFTs, which are going to be bronze, rare NFTs, these, and yeah, definitely worth checking out if you're wondering who to stake to. Got some news here from Flare Oracle. Songbird has Web3 games. If you didn't already know about Pico, definitely worth checking out. A pixel art project, but it's actually a game, right? Where you can trade your cards and burn them and sort of compete with other people. It's a competitive card game, player versus player. And yeah, it's really fun. I've had a go myself, and definitely worth checking out. I hope they come to the Flare network too, but it's great to see them launching on Songbird first. If you're holding a Lucky Claw, yes, the next Lucky Claw live draw is going to be coming very soon. I'm actually going to schedule this in for Monday. So if you are holding a Lucky Claw, of course, you have a shot of winning 50,000 FLR. You've got a shot at winning the Flare Community Poker deck of cards and numerous NFTs, including Blockbones and some others too. So that's going to be scheduled and penciled in for Monday. Also, if you didn't already know, the Patreon membership is getting a boost. This month, the Wheel of Appreciation is going to go live, I believe, on Monday as well, before we kick things off with the Flare Community Lucky Claw live draw. And you're going to be able to win 1 unrevealed Blockbones NFT, currently valued at around 6,000 to 7,000 FLR, 1 Lucky Claw NFT, and 5,000 BNZ. So the ratios are pretty good. I believe there's about 50 people in the Legend tier, and with 3 prizes, you know, that's pretty good. So yeah, if you do want to join, like I said, you can check out the link in the description. And I'm also, this is a bit of alpha here, there's also going to be monthly airdrops for Patreon members that I haven't yet announced. You're just going to have to keep your eyes peeled for that in the near future. Finally, we're wrapping up with this post from Generation Infinity, Genfinity. They released this comprehensive guide to Flare networks, the blockchain for data. If you haven't already read this, it's a really good read, comprehensive, like I said, and this is a company that was created by none other than King Solomon, an absolute OG in the space. You may be familiar with him if you were in the XRP community for a long time. Definitely worth checking out. Like I said, there's a lot of information here to digest, but it's a great overview of both Songbird and the Flare network and some of the projects that are building on it. So that's pretty much it. That's the video, guys. That's the weekly news update. Like I said, I do hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment below if you have any questions. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. Have an incredible weekend, and until next time, I'm out.